Howdy y'all, Scott Grove back here with you for lesson number 4. Okay, we've already done our D's, G's, okay, and our A's. Okay, with all kinds of different things we can throw in there. Okay, I'm going to show you how to put all those together. That's just one of many different groups of chords that go very well together, and as time goes by we'll cover hundreds and hundreds. Okay, so let's just get right to that, get them nice and simple, getting the chords changing at an appropriate time, and then we'll add some fancy stuff in and probably do a lot more of that in the lesson following this in part 5. Okay, so I'll get right up here with you. Back to the stance. Okay, so we are going to be playing the D chord. Okay, we're going to play it in the right place, and we're also going to do the G, then we're going to go back to the D, and then to the A. Okay, so our rhythm pattern, for an example, again, you guys do whatever you want, but for right now, just to kind of learn just a basic rhythm. Okay, okay, so you're actually going down on just the D string, and you can hit a couple more if you want to. And if you watch closely, so some will be just the D string, down, up, then D string, down, up, or down, down, up. That one there's da, 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 down, up, down. So you hit the so you might start off with D, then down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Okay? Now we're going to have these for particular measures. Measures are actual counting. Okay? So we get to do the counting thing in our heads, and it will become very natural very quickly. And this here is where you go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Later we will actually get to 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and okay, really break it up. But right now 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so we're going to do this, and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so we're going to play that long. Count it in your head or out loud, and we're just going to go a nice simple way. We're going to do that D chord through the 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then right to the G chord for the same amount of time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so we've had it easy so far. We've been doing nice little fun things with the chords. Now we get to go back to the roots of each chord and actually play them in the most basic time. and then we can add all the fun stuff back in sparingly, so you have all this fun stuff to play when it's called for. If you do all that fun stuff, it just muddies up and jumbles up the song, so that singing and so forth are no longer the focal point. So you get to use all that fun stuff sparingly and in between vocal lines and so forth. Okay, so whether you want to write this down or whatever, I'm not going to take the time to flash it across the screen because it's really not that difficult. We're going to go the same amount of time, the 4 and, we're going to do it on the D to the G to the D to the A. Okay, and that's it, and just keep repeating it until you get used to changing chords. Best way to do that, again, go on the couch, go in the bathroom, go on the bed, go outside, whatever, and just try to go from D to G, D to A, D to G, D, A, D, G, D, A, D, G, D, A without looking. You'll have to look for the first 3,000 times, but after that you got it. Okay, so I'm going to play this once, and then we'll talk about it one more time and get out of that part and start adding some more stuff. Okay, because this 3-chord thing can be done so many ways. Okay, so here's that basic way. I'll just count it as I play them. Again, D, G, D, A. And they're all going to get to the 4 and. So like 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 4 and 1. Okay, so even if you don't have it now, I don't expect you to. I expect you to pretty much practice on each of these lessons till you have them. I don't care how long it takes. Everybody's different, and so be it. That's why you don't have to go pay money and sit in music stores to do this anymore. Okay, because they make you pay them, $30 to come back the next week and play the same thing again and again and again. Okay, all you got to do is hit the button. Okay, when I had showed you before, there's a little thing we could do with the couple of the chords. We can do it with all the chords, but I want to let you know if we're doing a 3-chord song like this, in D, okay, there's what was called the 7th. We learned this on lesson number 1, which means you take the D note, so that's the 3rd fret here on the B string, and you flatten it, what is called a whole step, which is 2 frets. So 1, we don't start counting till we move. Okay, so there's D, you move it back 1 fret, then you move it back 2 frets. Okay, so you don't go 1, 2, you actually have to move it first. So you're here, you have to move it back 1 and then back 2, and then figure out, you got to make a way to put the chord back together. The chord's going to be a D7, but this note has to be back here. So you have to reconfigure your fingers. So now you have your first finger at the 1st fret on the 2nd string or B string. Now you have the middle finger, 2nd fret on the 3rd string or G string, and finally your ring finger, 2nd fret on the high E string, and play those 4 notes. Make sure they're all ringing out good. Okay, now that gets you having to change quickly again from D. Okay, and that lets people know that you're getting ready to change chords. You can decide on these too. They're all just pieces to let you either guide other players to let them know when you play a 7th chord that it is going to change chords, and it will tell you exactly where you're going to go when you play a 7th chord. Here's the basic rule with that. If you're playing D, G, D, A, the first chord, and can be a 7th, that lets you know you're getting ready to go to the 2nd chord. You won't play a 7th in there. It just does not work, and it's never pretty. When you go back here, don't play it again, but when you go to the A, you learned this one on lesson number 3, and I picked up just the middle finger, and that gave us our A7, or we can add the pinky at the 3rd fret on the high E. Okay, and that lets us know we're getting ready to change, and that'll be right back to the D. Okay, just example, best way to do it is just show it to you. I'm going to show you exactly how this would probably play out. This is the most common way to do it. I will count them a little bit softer so you can hear the guitar, okay, and hear when the 7ths come in, okay, and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 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 and 4. We're going to change it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so there we get the change to what are called half bars. So 1 and 2 and then you switch like this. 1 and 2 and 1. Okay, but you could actually want to actually count it out still to 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Here comes the split bars. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so you've heard that a million times. Yeah, everything sounds country at the moment, but it's the easiest way to show it. And if country's your thing, cool. If it's not, this is still the best way to show it, because we will still get to. Okay, so this is all just different counts and the way you play it. You know, it's going to be a little happier if you're going to play it that way. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, this here's in a 6/8. It's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 3. So it's those same chords. Okay, very cool stuff. It's just all a matter of how you want to do a song, or figure out a song, or write a song. Okay, now when we're adding all the little fluff, all the other stuff we learned in the past 3 lessons, okay, if we were doing the 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, okay, all that stuff shows you, kind of blows your mind actually, but it is nothing different than what we learned on each chord in lesson 1, 2, and 3. So when you're doing your D, okay, all that is just any combination of what sounds good to you, but of all the little notes that are safe notes that we learned in lesson 1. Pull off, then the 7th, and now I'm just not strumming. I decided to, in the middle somewhere, just start picking straight up because I want to hear the high tinkly strings, not going down on the bass strings, because that's not what I want to hear. When I went to G, I went and did that. When I originally showed it to you, it was, but this sounds better with this kind of music where I actually, it's a G chord, so at that last note I actually go to the open G string. G string, back to D, all kinds of hammer-ons and pull-offs. Then the A, I'm opting to go to this one because all that stuff, remember, in the lesson 3 went. So it's got all that stuff in it. So adding a little of those, playing it slower, and putting those in with it. We got 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, the 3 and 4, the 1 and the 2, 3 and 4 and 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, the 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and a 1 and a 2 and 1. Okay, now that is what is called overly busy, meaning, yes, I'm playing a whole bunch of notes going on. But when you are practicing, it's nice to be able to have that kind of a flow going on. Okay, when nobody's around singing, it's just a great way to practice, get your fingers working, okay? And if you're going faster, okay? So there you go. Okay, so that is lesson number 4. That is just the first little taste of that. Lesson 5 will be the same thing and just carrying it on to make you understand this more and to show this same thing to you in just different ways. Open up new creative juices for you. So lesson 5 will be, again, these same 3 chords one more time and just new ideas with them. And then we'll add another chord and do some cool stuff to it as well. Keep doing that kind of thing till we cover every single chord, all the stuff that goes with each chord that you can play. And then we'll get into how to figure out songs and all kinds of other fun things. So once again, you guys have tons of fun, practice well, and see you soon. All right, later.